Hello everyone, I'm Steve Barrass from University of Canberra and associated with Anna and Doclab. And I'm going to talk about object-based storytelling. This work sort of began with, I'll show you this video. I was working with the National Museum of Australia with virtual reality technology for storytelling, or doing some prototyping. So here we see a snuff box from the museum's collection. It's a 3D model of this silver snuff box that was given to the captain of an immigration ship by the passengers in gratitude. And basically you can use a haptic force feedback interface to feel the engraving of the 3D model and to open the model up. And inside the model is the passenger list. So you can open the box and you can see the little ship travels from Portsmouth to Adelaide, following the path of the journey as we live. So what I was trying to do here was move away from the object separated from its story, which is written in the text. So that idea of separating showing the object behind glass untouchable, and the distraction that's caused by having the text separate and reading that. I found that quite often people pay more attention to the text than the object, and could we allow people to actually engage with the object and let the object unfold the story as a response to their curiosity-driven interaction with it. So that led me to start thinking about objects as containers for stories. And so I developed a few more works using the haptic force feedback interface around this one's a documentary, an explanation about the extinction of gorillas that unfolds through interaction with a haptic object, a glass object. So I spent quite a bit of time thinking about using augmented reality with objects to tell stories. But then 3D printing technology came onto the scene, and I started thinking about actual objects that could tell stories. So here I'm showing you a singing bowl, 3D printed singing bowl. And but this singing bowl is made from 1 year of my own blood pressure readings. So the idea is that this is a documentary object of my blood pressure over a year. And the sound that the object makes and the interaction with the object is a kind of reflection. You've seen, quantified self and graphs of the quantified self, and we see all of those plots of blood pressure and jogging speeds and all sorts of other data that are collected by devices that we are now becoming readily available. Shown as plots, but could we move from images and graphs to more object-based representations of data that are also more aesthetically and poetically oriented? So I can't see the numbers, but I can feel this and I can interact with it, and it provides me a way of reflecting on and meditating upon my blood pressure. Last year, I started collaborating with a ceramic artist, and here I have the work that I want to talk about today, or show you today. So this is a ceramic vessel, and it's a documentary object in itself. So this object is designed to show you the effect of heat transfer. So in Canberra, you know that we have large temperature swings. You can read, the daily temperature, but how do you understand the way the temperature varies seasonally over the year? So this object is designed for long-term contemplation and as a focus for understanding your environment. What happens is that it contains a heat storage salt. It contains an inorganic salt which stores heat. and at 22 degrees Celsius, it changes phase from liquid to a solid. As it changes phase, the temperature stays constant. I wanted to understand that material and how it might be used, especially in sustainable building. So I created this object as a way of observing the behaviour of that material. It's covered in thermochromic inks. That means they're temperature sensitive. So when the temperature goes below 22 degrees, this object goes blue. And when the temperature goes above 22 degrees, it turns yellow. So what I do is place this in different locations, in front of a window or in a cold part of the house, and watch what happens to the phase change material through the colour change on the surface. So it's a way of observing the effects of the environment as a tool for comprehension of that material that's within it. This year, what I found was that binary of blue and yellow for above and below 22, I still wanted to observe more about what was happening to the material within. So ceramic's not a really good way of looking inside things, but glass is. So this year I'm collaborating with Nadej from the Glassworks at the ANU, and we're creating a new vessel which is going to be a much larger vessel containing 10 litres of phase change material, and it changes to 17 degrees. Based on my observation that the 22 degrees in this vessel is too high for the temperatures in Canberra. So what I've learned about is the way, the interaction between temperature and phase change in this object, and we're going to build the next object as a vessel for observation at 17 degrees with a larger heat mass of material, and using glass so that we can actually see inside and see what the material is doing. So in this trajectory and this thread of research, what I'm trying to explore, what I'm exploring is the idea that objects can be documentary in their own right and serve as a way of telling stories.